The space station floated quietly above Earth. Commander Jake Miller checked his screens for the 100th time that morning. Everything looked normal. The blue planet below spun peacefully, white clouds drifting across its surface. "Commander, you need to see this," said Lieutenant Amy Davis, her voice tight with worry. Jake pushed off from his workstation and floated to Amy's console. On her screen, strange readings flickered. Something big was coming. "How many?" Jake asked. 12. No, 15 ships. They just appeared at the edge of our solar system. Jake's heart raced. First contact. Humanity had waited for this moment for centuries. He reached for the communication panel. "This is Commander Jake Miller of Earth Defense Station Alpha. Unknown vessels, please identify yourselves." Silence filled the control room. Then the screens exploded with light. The alien ships were enormous. Each one was the size of a small city, made of dark metal that seemed to absorb light. They moved in perfect formation toward Earth. "Get me a direct line to General Frank Roberts," Jake ordered. "Now." Down on Earth, Ambassador Lisa Brown stood in the United Nations building. World leaders had gathered for an emergency meeting. The large screen showed the approaching alien fleet. "We must remain calm," Lisa said to the assembled leaders. "This could be humanity's greatest moment. We should prepare a welcome message." President Maria Rodriguez nodded. "Ambassador Brown, you'll be our voice. Make them understand we want peace." Lisa took a deep breath and activated the global communication system. Her message went out in every human language, translated into mathematical patterns that any advanced civilization should understand. "Greetings to our visitors. We are the people of Earth. We welcome you in peace and friendship. Please respond." The alien ships continued their approach. They arranged themselves in orbit around Earth, blocking out the sun in many places. People on the ground looked up in fear and wonder. Then the aliens answered. A harsh, grinding voice filled every communication device on Earth. The words were in perfect English but spoken without emotion. "Humans of Earth, we are the Velnari Empire. Your planet now belongs to us. Surrender immediately or face destruction." Lisa tried again. "Please, let's discuss this. We offer friendship." A beam of white light shot from the largest alien ship. It struck New York City. Jake watched in horror from the space station as the beam hit. The entire city disappeared in a flash. Where millions of people had lived, only a smoking crater remained. "Dear God," Amy whispered. More beams followed. London vanished. Beijing burned. Moscow turned to ash. In minutes, Earth's greatest cities were gone. General Frank Roberts shouted orders from his underground bunker. "All forces engage the enemy, protect what's left." Earth's military responded. Missiles launched from hidden silos. Fighter jets screamed into the sky. Naval ships fired everything they had. Nothing worked. The alien shields absorbed every attack like raindrops hitting steel. Captain Sam Johnson led his fighter squadron toward the nearest alien ship. His F-35 Lightning felt tiny compared to the massive vessel. "Stay tight, people," Sam called to his pilots. "Look for weaknesses." They fired their missiles. The alien shields flared briefly, then settled back to normal. Not even a scratch appeared on the enemy hull. "Captain, I'm picking up energy spikes from their weapons," warned Amy Davis, flying as Sam's wingman. "Break formation," Sam yelled. Alien fighters poured from the motherships. They were sleek, crystal-like craft that moved impossibly fast. Green energy bolts filled the sky. Sam watched his squadron disappear one by one. Good pilots, brave people, gone in seconds. He rolled his fighter through a desperate turn as alien fire chased him. "Command, this is Johnson. We can't touch them. Their tech is too advanced." Below, the ground forces faced the Velnari themselves. The aliens were terrifying to see. 9 feet tall, their bodies looked like living crystal. They moved with strange grace, their weapons turning human soldiers to dust. Sergeant Jim Foster crouched behind rubble in what used to be Denver. His squad fired their rifles at an approaching Velnari warrior. The bullets bounced off its crystal skin. "Fall back," Jim ordered. He grabbed Private Emma Taylor and pulled her into cover as alien fire melted the concrete where they'd been standing. In Colorado Springs, Mike Torres worked frantically in an underground lab. The engineer had been studying electromagnetic fields when the invasion started. Now he noticed something odd in the data. "Kate, look at this," he called to Dr. Kate Williams. "When our pilots flew through that thunderstorm, the alien shields flickered." Kate studied the readings. Her eyes widened. "Electromagnetic interference. Their shields don't like our storms." Above Earth, Amy Davis made the same discovery by accident. Her damaged fighter tumbled through a storm cloud. Lightning crackled around her aircraft. She saw an alien fighter's shields fail for just a moment. "Captain Johnson, the storms. Use the storms," Amy transmitted. But it was too late. Alien fire found her fighter. Amy's last thought was that she'd found the key to fighting back. Sam heard Amy's final message. Storms. Electromagnetic fields. It wasn't much, but it was something. He turned his fighter toward the space station. "Jake, this is Sam. The storms affect their shields. Tell everyone." An alien beam cut through Sam's fighter. The captain's discovery died with him. By nightfall, 2 billion humans were dead. Earth's military was shattered. Major cities lay in ruins. In orbit, the Velnari commander sent his report home. "The human planet is secured, Overlord Krextown. Minimal resistance. They are as weak as predicted." Overlord Krextown's image appeared. On the screen, the crystal being's face showed what might have been satisfaction. "Excellent. Begin harvesting operations. Those who survive will make adequate slaves." Deep underground, General Roberts gathered his remaining officers. They looked at maps showing the devastation. Most of Earth's defenses were gone. "We're not done yet," Roberts said quietly. "We go underground. We learn. We adapt. This isn't over." Dr. Kate Williams clutched the data about electromagnetic fields. Mike Torres worked on weapon designs. Scattered military units dug deeper bunkers. Civilians found hiding places. Humanity had lost the first battle. But unknown to the Velnari, they had made a terrible mistake. They had attacked Earth. They had killed billions. They had made humans angry. As the alien ship settled into orbit, as Velnari warriors patrolled empty streets, as the Empire celebrated another conquest, humans began to plan. The Velnari thought they were hunters who had found easy prey. They were wrong. 3 months passed since the invasion. Humans lived like rats in the dark. Underground bunkers stretched for miles beneath the ruins of cities. People ate canned food and drank recycled water. Children learned to stay quiet when alien patrols passed overhead. Dr. Kate Williams bent over her workbench in an abandoned coal mine. Her fingers were black with grease. Mike Torres handed her another circuit board. "This better work," Mike said. "We're running out of parts." Kate attached wires to the electromagnetic coil. "It will work, it has to." They had spent weeks building weapons based on Amy Davis's final discovery. The storm rifles used electromagnetic pulses to disrupt Velnari shields. The first prototypes exploded. The second batch barely worked, but they kept trying. Above ground, the aliens had changed Earth. Their machines dug deep mines, pulling out metals humans had never seen. Strange towers pumped chemicals into the air, making it harder to breathe. The Velnari were terraforming the planet for their own needs. Tony Garcia watched the aliens through binoculars. The resistance leader lay flat on a hillside with his team. Emma Taylor adjusted her sniper scope. Jack Murphy checked the explosives in his backpack. 6 guards, Tony whispered. "Standard patrol pattern. They change shifts in 10 minutes. Emma nodded. "I can take 2 before they react." "Wait for my signal," Tony said. "We test the doc's new weapon today." Down in the bunker, General Frank Roberts studied maps with Colonel Dan White. Red marks showed lost territories. Blue marks showed resistance cells. There were too many red marks. "Sir, Garcia's team is in position," reported Lieutenant Jenny. Lee from the communications desk. Roberts nodded. "Tell them to proceed, and pray those storm rifles work." On the hillside, Tony's team moved closer to the Velnari outpost. The crystal aliens stood guard around a mining facility. Their weapons glowed with green energy. Tony raised the storm rifle. It felt heavy and strange in his hands. The electromagnetic coils hummed with power. "On my mark," he whispered. 3, 2, 1. Tony pulled the trigger. An invisible pulse shot from the rifle. The nearest Velnari warrior's shield flickered and died. Emma's sniper bullet hit, its center mass, the crystal being shattered like glass. The other Velnari turned in shock. Their shields were failing. Tony's team opened fire. In 30 seconds, 6 alien warriors lay in pieces. "It worked," Jack shouted. "The rifles actually worked." Tony grabbed his radio. "Command, this is Garcia. Storm rifles confirmed effective. Repeat. We can kill them now." The news spread through the resistance like wildfire. Humans could fight back. Dr. Williams' invention gave them hope. Over the next weeks, attacks increased. Small teams hit Velnari patrols and supply lines. The aliens grew nervous. They had never faced enemies who could breach their shields. Overlord Krexton appeared on every Velnari screen across Earth. His crystal face showed anger. These primitive humans dare to resist? Send more warriors. Crush every hiding place. Show no mercy. But the Velnari made a mistake. They pulled forces from other worlds to reinforce Earth. They thought bigger numbers would solve the problem. They didn't understand human determination. Dr. Paul Martinez made another discovery. The scientist studied dead Velnari in a secret lab. He noticed something strange about their crystal structure. They vibrate at specific frequencies, Paul told General Roberts. Like living tuning forks. If we match the frequency, Paul demonstrated with a captured Velnari weapon. He adjusted a sound generator. The alien device cracked and broke apart. "Sonic weapons," Roberts said with a grim smile. "Start production immediately." 2 months later, humanity launched Operation Lightning Strike. Resistance cells around the world attacked at the same time. Storm rifles crackled, sonic cannons howled, Velnari warriors fell by the hundreds. Captain Steve Wilson led Marines into downtown Chicago. The sonic weapons cleared entire buildings. Velnari ran from the painful sound waves. Their perfect crystal bodies cracked under the assault. "Push forward," Steve ordered. "Take the command center." In space, something else happened. Engineer Lisa Park had spent months studying captured Velnari technology. She found codes in their computers, patterns that repeated. A weakness. "It's like a back door," Lisa explained to Admiral Susan Clark. "If we can upload this virus," Susan nodded. "Do it. Time to give them a taste of human creativity." The virus spread through Velnari systems. Shields failed. Weapons stopped working. Communications went dead. The aliens panicked. Velnari Commander Zektar sent desperate messages to the homeworld. But the messages bounced back. Earth's primitive radio towers, upgraded with alien tech, jammed their signals. "Overlord, the humans have changed," Zektar reported when he finally got through. "They learn too fast. They adapt our own technology against us. We need—" An explosion rocked his command ship. Human rockets, modified with Velnari power cores, punched through the weakened shields. Zektar watched his bridge burn. Below, the tide turned completely. Freed humans emerged from hiding. They picked up alien weapons from fallen warriors. They used Velnari vehicles against their creators. Every victory taught them something new. Colonel Dan White led the assault on the largest Velnari base in North America. His forces surrounded the facility. Storm rifles and sonic weapons broke the defensive line. Inside, White found something amazing. Star charts, navigation data, the location of the Velnari homeworld and colonies. "General, you need to see this," White radioed. "We know where they come from now." In the deepest bunker, President Maria Rodriguez met with surviving world leaders. They looked different now, harder, focused. 3 months ago, they nearly destroyed us, Rodriguez said. Now we're winning. But it's not enough to drive them from Earth. The Russian leader nodded. They'll come back, stronger. Unless we stop them first, Rodriguez continued. We take their technology. We build our own fleet. We hunt them across the stars. The decision was unanimous. Humanity would not just defend, they would attack. Above Earth, the Velnari retreated. To their ships, half their ground forces were dead. Their technology was compromised. The primitive humans had become dangerous. Overlord Krexton received the reports with disbelief. Impossible. They are prey. We are the hunters. But facts didn't lie. The humans grew stronger every day. They turned Velnari weapons against their makers. They showed no fear, no mercy. Young pilot Alex Young performed impossible maneuvers in a captured Velnari fighter. His girlfriend Jenny Lee coordinated resistance communications worldwide. Scientist Kate Williams developed deadlier weapons. Engineer Mike Torres built the first human spacecraft with alien technology. The hunter had become the hunted. And Earth's children were learning to be predators. In his command ship, Overlord Krextan made a decision that would haunt his species forever. Recall half the fleet from other sectors, leave minimum garrisons, all forces to Earth. He thought more ships would bring victory. Instead, he had just exposed the rest of his empire. The real war was about to begin, and humans were ready.
1 year after the invasion, the moon had changed. Where empty craters once sat, shipyards now hummed with activity. Humans worked day and night building something the galaxy had never seen before: Earth's revenge. Admiral Susan Clark floated
in zero gravity, watching welders seal the hull of humanity's first warship. The ship was ugly by Velnari standards. It looked like a flying brick covered in weapons. But it would work. Status report. Susan called to her bridge crew. Shields at maximum. Storm cannons charged. Sonic arrays ready, reported Captain Tom Harris. She's not pretty, but she'll fight. They named the ship Vengeance. It carried the best of human engineering and stolen Velnari technology. More ships were being built, but Vengeance would lead the way. On Earth, the Velnari were losing. Ground every day, their crystal warriors now feared the dark. Human guerrilla fighters appeared from nowhere, struck hard, then vanished. The aliens learned what Vietnam and Afghanistan had taught others. Humans excelled at insurgency. Pilot Alex Young sat in his captured Velnari fighter, now painted with kill marks. 37 alien craft shot down. He was getting better at flying their technology. Alex, incoming transmission, said Jenny Lee from the communications center. His girlfriend had become Earth's best codebreaker. You're not going to believe this, Jenny's voice was excited. I cracked their deep space communications. I know where their homeworld is. I have locations of 12 colonies, everything. Alex grinned. Time to return the favor. Dr. Paul Martinez made another breakthrough in his lab. The scientist discovered that Velnari physiology had a fatal flaw. Their crystal bodies resonated at specific frequencies. Find the right frequency, and they shattered like wine glasses. Each Velnari has a slightly different resonance, Paul explained to Marine Captain Steve Wilson. But I've found the common range. These sonic grenades will affect any Velnari within 50 meters. Steve tested the weapons in urban combat. His Marines cleared entire city blocks in minutes. The sound waves caused Velnari warriors to crack and crumble. They fled in terror from human forces. The reports reached Velnari Commander Zektar. His mandibles clicked nervously as he read about another defeated patrol, another lost outpost. They are becoming more dangerous, Zektar told his officers. They use our own technology. They show no mercy. They enjoy the hunt. One officer suggested, retreat. Zektar executed him on the spot. The Overlord commands us to hold. We hold. But privately, Zektar sent coded messages home. The humans are not what we thought. They adapt, they learn, they hate. Send the reserve fleet immediately. Underground, General Frank Roberts planned the final liberation of Earth. Maps showed green zones, areas under human control. The green was spreading. 6 months, Roberts told President Rodriguez. In 6 months, Earth will be free. Then we take the war to them. The president nodded. The other nations agree. We unite as one species, one fleet, one purpose. Above Earth, the first human warships tested their weapons. Storm cannons fired electromagnetic pulses that shredded Velnari shields. Sonic torpedoes caused enemy ships to vibrate apart. Human creativity combined with alien technology created weapons the galaxy had never imagined. The Velnari tried to adapt. They modified their shields, changed frequencies, altered tactics, but humans adapted faster. Every Velnari change was met with 3 human innovations. Emma Taylor, now a colonel, led the Ghost Brigade. These were humanity's best fighters, trained in Velnari weaknesses. They infiltrated alien bases, assassinated commanders, and stole technology. Fear is a weapon, Emma told her soldiers. They came here as conquerors. Now they check every shadow. Good. Let them know fear. The liberation of Paris marked the turning point. Jack Murphy led the assault with new plasma charges that melted Velnari armor. French resistance fighters guided them through the tunnels. The battle lasted 3 days. When the last Velnari fell, something remarkable happened. The surviving aliens tried to surrender. This was new. The Velnari had never surrendered before. Please, the Velnari officer begged in broken English. No, more sound weapons, we yield. Jack remembered the first day. His family vaporized, his city destroyed. He looked at the cowering alien. You showed no mercy, Jack said quietly. Neither do we. The sonic grenades ended the conversation. News of surrendering Velnari spread across Earth. The mighty Empire's warriors, who had conquered 100 worlds, were begging humans for mercy. The psychological effect was devastating. On the Velnari, homeworld overlord Krextan received the reports with growing alarm. His crystalline skin flickered with rage. Impossible. The humans are primitives. How can they defeat our warriors? His advisor showed him intercepted human communications. Plans for interstellar warships. Strategies for attacking Velnari colonies. Lists of weapons designed specifically to kill crystal beings. They are coming here, the advisor said simply. For the first time in his life, Krextan felt something cold in his core. Fear. Earth's shipyards worked without rest. The fleet grew. Vengeance was joined by retribution, fury, and dozens more. Each ship carried humanity's rage into space. Scientists like Kate Williams designed jump drives using Velnari technology. Engineers like Mike Torres built weapons that turned crystal warriors into dust. Pilots like Alex Young trained on simulators, preparing for battles in alien skies. The day came. Earth was finally free. The last Velnari stronghold fell to a combined assault. Admiral Susan Clark gave the order. Millions had waited to hear. All ships prepare for departure. Operation Infinite Hunt begins now. 50 human warships rose from Earth's gravity. They carried the best of human engineering and the worst of human vengeance. Their mission was simple: ensure the Velnari never threatened anyone again. In his command ship fleeing Earth, Commander Zektar sent a final message home. They are coming. The humans are coming. They will never stop. We have awakened something terrible. The Velnari had learned too late. They thought humans were prey animals, weak and divided. They discovered humans were persistent predators. When threatened, when angered, when their children were killed, humans became something else. They became the thing monsters feared. As Earth's fleet jumped to hyperspace, beginning their hunt across the galaxy, every Velnari warrior felt the same chill. They were no longer the hunters. They were the hunted. And their hunters were coming. The age of human expansion had begun, and it started with vengeance. The human fleet dropped out of hyperspace near Vela Prime, the first Velnari colony world. Admiral John Baker stood on the bridge of his flagship studying tactical displays. After 18 months of war, Earth was free. Now it was time for justice. All ships, battle formation, Baker ordered. Remember, we're not conquerors. We're exterminators. The Velnari defense fleet scrambled to meet them. 20 crystal ships against 50 human vessels. The aliens still believed their technology was superior. They hadn't received news from Earth yet. Captain Tom Harris led the first wave. Storm cannons ready. Target their command ship. The battle was quick and brutal. Human weapons, designed specifically to kill Velnari, tore through their shields. Sonic torpedoes made their ships shake apart. In 1 hour, the defense fleet was space debris. Landing force, you are clear, Baker announced. Take the planet. Marine transports descended through Vela Prime's orange atmosphere. Colonel Steve, Wilson watched the Velnari city grow larger through his viewport. His soldiers checked their weapons one last time. "Remember," Steve told his troops, "they didn't give our civilians a chance to run. Return the favor." The ground battle showed how much humans had learned. They moved through the city like ghosts, using Velnari tactics against them. Sonic grenades cleared buildings. Storm rifles cut down warriors. The colonists had nowhere to hide. But something unexpected happened. Other aliens appeared. Slaves the Velnari had captured from different worlds. They fell to their knees before the humans, begging in strange languages. Intelligence officer Rachel Green studied one group. They were called Zephyrians, bird-like beings with blue feathers. Their world had been conquered 50 years ago. "Please," their leader chirped in broken Velnari. "We are not enemy. Velnari force us work. Kill us if we refuse." Rachel made a decision that would change the war. "You're free now. Help us find their military bases and we'll help free your world." News spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The humans were different. They killed Velnari but freed slaves. They destroyed the Empire but offered alliance to its victims. On the Markab homeworld, rebellion started the moment they heard about human victories. The insect-like Markab had suffered under Velnari rule for centuries. Now they rose up, overwhelming their crystal masters. Ambassador Kevin Brown met with Markab leaders. The diplomat had learned their clicking language in days. "Join us," he offered. "Together, we can end the Velnari Empire forever." The alliance grew. 7 species joined within months. Each brought ships, warriors, and most importantly, information about Velnari weaknesses. The hunter fleet pushed deeper into enemy space. Every battle taught them more. Engineer Lisa Park discovered that Velnari computers used quantum crystals. She developed viruses that turned their own systems against them. At the Battle of Nexus Station, Lisa's virus shut down an entire Velnari fleet. Their ships drifted helpless as human boarding teams took them apart. No shots fired, no lives lost on the human side. "Sir, intercepting Velnari communications," reported Lieutenant Jenny Lee. She had become the fleet's best intelligence officer. "They're panicking, calling all ships back to defend the homeworld." Admiral Baker smiled grimly. "Let them run, we'll follow." The Velnari Empire crumbled system by system. Their subject races saw freedom within reach. Rebellions sparked everywhere. The Crystal Warriors, once feared across the galaxy, now fled before angry mobs of former slaves. Captain Alex Young led fighter squadrons in hit-and-run attacks. His unit painted their ships black with white skulls, death incarnate to the Velnari. They specialized in hunting fleeing enemy ships. "No escape" was their motto. No mercy. Dr. Paul Martinez worked with allied scientists to improve weapons. The Zephyrians understood harmonics. The Markab knew about crystal growth. Combined with human innovation, they created weapons that could shatter a Velnari from a mile away. On the Velnari colony of Rigel 7, Commander Zektar made his last stand. He had gathered 3,000 warriors, the largest force left outside the homeworld. General Frank Roberts, now commanding ground forces, gave him one chance. "Surrender. Face justice for your crimes." Zektar's response came as plasma fire. The battle lasted 6 hours. Human sonic artillery turned the Crystal Warriors into glittering dust. When silence fell, Zektar stood alone among the remains of his army. "Why?" he asked as human soldiers surrounded him. "We are superior. Our technology, our strength." Roberts looked at the alien commander. "You forgot one thing. We're human. We don't give up. We don't forgive. And we never forget." The sonic burst ended Zektar's questions permanently. The war shifted into its final phase. The Velnari pulled every ship back to their homeworld. Their empire of 100 systems had shrunk to one heavily defended planet, but their former slaves wanted justice too. The Allied fleet grew to 200 ships from 12 species, all led by humans, all learning human tactics. They created their own doom, observed the Markab admiral. They taught the galaxy to fear them. Now they teach us to hunt like humans. Supply lines to the Velnari homeworld were cut. Trade stopped. Their economy collapsed. For the first time in their history, the Velnari knew hunger and want. President Maria Rodriguez addressed the Allied fleet before the final assault. Her image appeared on every ship. 18 months ago, they came to our world. They killed 2 billion humans. They thought we were weak. She paused. They were wrong. Today we bring justice, not just for Earth, but for every world they've destroyed. The fleet cheered in a dozen languages. In his palace, Overlord Crextown watched the reports. His empire was gone. His warriors were dead or scattered. His people faced extinction. How? He asked his remaining advisors. How did primitives destroy us? An old Velnari scholar answered. We hunted prey. We never learned what humans knew from birth. The most dangerous animal is the one pushed too far. We made them into what they are now. The human fleet approached the Velnari homeworld. 300 ships from the allied species, all wanting to see the Empire's end. Admiral Baker gave the order that would echo through history. All ships, prepare for the final hunt. Today the Velnari learned the price of genocide. The last battle was about to begin. The hunters had become the hunted, and there was nowhere left to run. 5 years had passed since the Velnari first attacked Earth. Now their homeworld stood alone, surrounded by 300 allied ships. The crystal planet sparkled in space, its defensive shields creating rainbow patterns against the stars. Admiral Nancy Peterson commanded the siege fleet. She studied the planet's defenses with cold eyes. The Velnari had built their last fortress well. Orbital platforms, ground batteries, shield generators buried deep underground. They can hold out for months, reported Captain Tom Harris. Maybe years. Nancy smiled grimly. They don't have months. Begin Operation Starvation. The Allied fleet formed a perfect sphere around the planet. Nothing could get in or out. Supply ships trying to run the blockade were vaporized. Communications were jammed. The Velnari homeworld was cut off from the universe. Below on the surface, panic grew. The crystal cities had never known want. Now food synthesizers failed. Power grids shut down. For the first time, Velnari citizens felt fear. Special Forces. Commander Matt Taylor led the infiltration teams. Small groups landed in stealth pods carrying sonic weapons and computer viruses. Their mission was simple: destroy from within. Alpha Team, target the shield generators, Matt ordered. Beta Team, hit their communication hubs, make them blind and deaf. The teams moved like shadows through crystal corridors. They had trained with Velnari defectors who hated their own government. These rebels showed them secret paths, hidden weaknesses. In the lower district, something unexpected happened. Poor Velnari citizens began protesting. They had suffered under their overlords for generations. Now they saw a chance for change. Why should we die for the overlord? Shouted one protester. He brought this destruction upon us. Civil unrest spread. The mighty Velnari Empire was eating itself from within. Guards who tried to stop protests found themselves outnumbered. Some even joined the rebels. Overlord Crexton watched his world burn from his crystal citadel. His advisors had fled. His generals were dead. Only his personal guard remained loyal. Activate the Doomsday Protocol, he ordered desperately. If we die, we take them with us. But human hackers had been busy. Lisa Park's viruses had infected every Velnari system. When Crexton tried to activate the planet killer weapons, nothing happened. Error messages flashed on every screen. Nice try, Lisa muttered from her station on the human flagship. But we've been planning this for years. The shield generators exploded one by one. Matt Taylor's teams had done their job perfectly. As the planetary shields fell, the Allied fleet moved closer. Admiral Peterson opened communications to the planet. Her message played in every Velnari home on every screen. Velnari citizens. Your government started this war. They murdered billions. Now they hide while you suffer. Surrender the overlord and his supporters. Choose new leaders. The killing can end today. The response came not from the government but from the streets. Angry mobs stormed government buildings. Crystal warriors who had terrorized the galaxy found themselves hunted by their own people. The siege lasted 3 weeks. Each day, more Velnari joined the rebellion. The old guard fell one by one. Finally, only the Crystal Citadel remained under Crexton's control. Marine dropships descended through the atmosphere. Humans, Ephirian, Markab, and other allied forces landed together. The final assault had begun. Sergeant Jim Foster led his squad through the Citadel's main gate. This was personal for him. His wife and children had died in the first bombardment of Earth. He had waited 5 years for this moment. The Citadel's defenses were strong, but the attackers were stronger. Storm rifles shattered crystal guards. Sonic cannons pulverized defensive walls. Level by level, room by room, the Allies pushed forward. In the throne room, Overlord Crexton waited with his last 100 guards. The crystal ruler who had ordered the destruction of so many worlds now cowered behind his warriors. The doors exploded inward. Allied soldiers poured through. The final battle was brief and brutal. Velnari guards fell like dominoes before the sonic assault. Within minutes, only Crexton remained. Jim Foster approached the Overlord. The human sergeant looked small next to the 9-foot crystal being. But there was no fear in Jim's eyes, only cold satisfaction. "Please," Crexton begged. "I surrender. I'll face trial, just no sonic weapons, please." Jim thought of his daughter's laugh, his son's first steps, his wife's smile, all gone in an instant of alien fire. "You showed no mercy to Earth," Jim said quietly. "You killed children, destroyed families, erased cities." Crexton fell to his knees. The mighty overlord of 100 worlds begging a single human for his life. Jim raised his sonic pistol. "This is for the 2 billion souls you murdered." The frequency matched perfectly. Crexton shattered into 1,000,000 pieces. The war was over. The Velnari Empire had fallen completely. Its surviving people faced a new reality. They would be watched for generations. Their military was disbanded forever. Their technology monitored. Never again would they threaten other worlds. The Galactic Council was established 6 months later. Humans led it, but all freed species had a voice. Laws were written, treaties signed. A new order emerged from the ashes of empire. Admiral Susan Clark gave the closing speech at the first council meeting. "We offered peace. They chose war. We showed mercy. They chose slaughter. Let the galaxy remember, when you attack humanity's children, you awaken something terrible. We become your nightmare, your eternal hunters." The surviving Velnari scattered across the galaxy. They took menial jobs on remote worlds. They hid their identities, always looking over their shoulders, always fearing the day humans might come for them, because humans never forgot. In schools across Earth, children learned about the invasion. Museums displayed Velnari weapons next to human innovations. The 2 billion dead were remembered in memorial walls that circled the globe. And in space, human patrol ships watched the stars. They carried a simple message to any who might threaten peaceful worlds. We are here, we remember. Try us. The hunter species had learned the hardest lesson possible. When you make humans your enemy, when you kill their children, when you burn their cities, you don't create victims. You create something far worse. You create the thing that hunts you forever. The age of human protection had begun. The galaxy would know peace, or else the Velnari had attacked humans. Now they were hunted forever.